So we've obviously got a problem here, because when we refresh, we get this functionality. You can see that it's scrolling down the page now. We've essentially achieved the effect, but we've set the CSS top value to the absolute position that we've scrolled down, and therefore it's where it's present is at the top. Obviously this is connecting to here, so at the start we have this set to 10 pixels from the top. However, when we start to scroll, we snap that to the absolutely scrolled position. So we want to go ahead and plus 10. Now we're going to be modifying this slightly later on to make it more efficient. Like I said, if we were to go ahead and change top to, let's say, 20, and we had this start at 20 pixels from the top, when we then scroll, it will change position. We don't want it to change position. We want it to stay in exactly the same place. So let's change that back to 10. We've got this added to 10, so now we have the effect that we're looking for. It will scroll with 10 pixels from the top. Okay, so now that we've done this, we want to go ahead and actually modify this so it will take the value that this scroll is already at, or this div is already at, and then apply it added onto here. So just above here, we want to go ahead and actually retrieve this value. So I'm going to create a variable called current top, and that's going to equal the follow div. So we're again selecting the follow div, and we're saying .css, and we're only supplying one parameter, and what this will do is it will return the value that we have placed here. Now the only problem is it will return the whole value including px, so we need to pass this value to an integer, and that will just take away the px part of it. So we say pass int, and we wrap that in this pass int function. So now we have the current top position. We can go ahead and substitute that in there, so current top. Let's go ahead and refresh the page, and you'll see it works as normal, as we have already seen. However, let's go ahead and change the left and the top values to 50 by 50, for example, 50. Now when we refresh, you can see it starts at a different position. However, it always stays in the same position. Whereas if we didn't have over here current top, and we just had plus 10, we would have to go and change this value every time we updated this top value here. So let's go ahead and check out how that doesn't work. You can see it snaps back to the top at 10 pixels. We would have to go and change this to 50 in order to keep up with the value that we've defined in style.css. So we keep this at current top just to make our code a bit more efficient, so if we were to go ahead and modify style.css, it would keep up with this value. And that's a good note to think about when for example, if you included this as part of a template, and this was part of the functionality of a template, you wouldn't expect to allow your user to go and have to change this and then have to go and change your code as well. So it's always best to keep the current values in there, so obviously we keep this dynamic and running through whatever we change in style.css. So that's the end of the tutorial. We've created a div that follows down the page quite simply with this code. It's an extremely simple way of obviously creating it. I have actually forgotten one thing, which is clicking this to get rid of it. So at the moment we can't click it to get rid of it. When we click on it, nothing happens. So what we can do is after the fade in, we can append on an event handler, and that is .click. So once we've appended on this event handler, we can then create a function inside of this and pull that down to actually hide this div. So we say this dot fade out, and we say 1000. Now that will actually, when we click on the follow div, we will fade out the div that we've obviously clicked. So we click that and it fades back out again. Now this is more of like a sort of a pernickety thing, but you might want to go ahead and say var speed equals 1000 and then go ahead and substitute this in here. And again, this will allow your user to change speeds if they do want to modify this script. And obviously you could again probably pass this with a function if you wanted, but for now that's the a little scrolling div in jQuery and how it can follow you down the page, and you can hide it by clicking on it.